I'm just setting you guys up. I'm gonna put you up top on this ladder here so you can see the whole rundown. Get you on the charger. Okay, we're on the charger here. Yeah, we gotta stay fly. So I've already done the water. We've set the water up. That's all clean. Putting these fans away real quick. We don't want the cord, the gang box to get all dirty. So I've already set this, made sure that all my tiles are hitting the level nice and straight, and we're hitting the next side there so that my border will sit nice and flush, right? That's what we're looking for, nice and flush. Okay. You know what? I didn't clean my trowel last night. That's not good. Oh no, I just used it. Duh. Oh, and when I first got in, I floated that again. If you zoom in, I don't know if you can zoom in, but the rear is already dry. You can see a little bit of it's creeping out. Yeah. Who here thinks that this backsplash looks okay? Remember to like and subscribe, please. Huge help to the channel. It's free, and I'll show up on your stuff and you guys can watch me grow. I got big plans. I want to buy multi-units, build houses so that people have homes. It makes me feel warm inside. Nice and warm and fuzzy. When I can make a house really nice, you know what I mean? Then they have a nice home. God gave me the calling when I was about 16. I knew right then that I was going to be a carpenter for the rest of my life. But I also paint. I do everything, from the ridge cap to the foundation. state. This is my own home, so I'm smoking for now, but I'll be painting soon, and after I paint, I have to go straight to vape. We're gonna paint everything in the house except for the mop board, my cabinetry, and my 2 shelves. That's getting white. Everything else will be painted again. And we're just gonna sand this down and do a clear coat. It's already been sanded, but I didn't protect it and the dust is all over it. So I gotta give it a scuff again, some 100 grit or 200 grit, whatever. And then we'll clear coat it all off. And it'll be a nice little country home on the coast of Maine. It'll be on Airbnb too, so you can come and check it out, take a vacation, enjoy the peace and quiet and all the beautiful lakes and coastal areas of Maine. Beautiful area. I'll never leave. I will never leave, ever. I'm always gonna live here. I'll buy other places, but I'll always have a house in Maine for sure. Okay, so yesterday we ended with this corner is falling in, so I had to float it out. I did already with my trim with a piece of wood, but now I've got about 1/3 of it dried already. And this morning I set some more on there to get it bulked out. And basically I'm just gonna have to poke the butter to it and use a straight edge and make sure it's lined up here. This wall is perfectly perpendicular. And everything here is true square, plumb, and level. That's very hard to do, but it's a new build, so I built everything here. Every wall, every square inch I've touched at least 5 or 6 times. All right, so I put the electrical back. All these electrical switches are dead. They're shut off on the panel. So, and they would have a green indicating light if they were on, and I know that I shut them off. So anyway, I put it back and I made sure it's level because I need to know exactly where that outlet is going to be sitting when it's actual, so I can get an actual for this piece of tile. And remember, I have $1,000, $1,500 granite stone here, probably around $3 grand really. It's polished, finished, and everything, beveled edge, rounded corner. And then I have another $3,000 countertop here with a double stainless undermount sink. It's Corian, Antarctic white. And this is Metro Gold, herringbone, real stone, and gold-plated metal. And this is black granite, and I chose to border the whole thing with this. I have a bunch of them right here. I saved room on each end for the bullnose border, as well as an 1/8 inch of grout line. So we have grout space, and I have black grout, black, complete black, for the border here. Okay. So right now I need to get an actual on where this outlet is going to sit on my tile. And I must say, this Metro Gold from Home Depot, I'm not paid by any company at all. I don't even make money on YouTube. But I gotta say, this stone is very easy to cut. It's nice and clean, and the mesh behind it is very strong. This product is very strong. Let me see what company made it. MSI. MSI is the company brand name. I've cut mosaics that just fall apart. The tiles are junk. But these, you can whip it around and they still stick. Very, very strong adhesive holding these. The only downfall is these U-channel metal slants here that are gold plated, they have sometimes a little bit too much glue and it sets them left and right. Anyway, let's get to work. Remember, I have this floated edge, it's live. So I can't really set it against that, but I'll get an actual here. Alright, I have to cut about a 1/4 inch off this edge so that that'll sit into place. You want to wait until the water comes instead of pump water up in the bucket. I got water, now I'm going to cut. It's staying square right against this. I'm going to hold down on my tile, but watch where my fingers are. Okay, that ought to get my sponge here. So, pull the water off this. So I've cut the tips off, that way it'll sit up against the wall over here. Just a little more off this edge. Pull some of the water off. Okay, so what I'm doing now, I'm looking for my left reveal. I'm pretty well close, but I need expansion on my right side as well. So I'm gonna take that, I got a good 1/8 inch almost on each side here, but I need to make sure this isn't running against the wall. So I'm going to cut this back another 1/8 inch to give it expansion into the corner. I'm going to get the water off. See how strong these are? I've had some mosaics that wouldn't even let you pick them up and they'd fall apart. Oh, shoot. Oh. Oh, man. All right. I got to go way deeper. I didn't realize that I was looking on the other side of the gold bezels. So I got to make room for the gold. That's about a 1/4 inch. Cut the right side. No pun intended. I'm going to go slow and slide in. I don't know how far, but I can always cut more. The square, and I'll hold down so they don't vibrate. Let the blade do the work. Uh-oh, steady. Uh-oh. Alright, here we go. YouTube don't let me use a radio, so I spurt out some songs every now and then. But just bear with me on that, if you don't mind. Alright, here we go. Just gonna go a little at a time, make sure this thing sits in here right. Okay, need a little more. So I can't just take a measurement and go, because there's so many different variables I need to know. Sometimes these are too short or too long, and I need to know what I can give and take. So I'm just slivering off and catching it every time, just to make sure I'm not going too far. It's a little bit longer, but I have all the time in the world. Ooh. There's a few that are close. Okay, I'm there. I just need to cut my expansion. Take a blade off of it. Should be good. It's awesome. Fucking hit it anyway. You see, I tried not to hit that. Gosh. Why? There. So now I can get an actual of where this is going to sit. So I'll put my shim in to get the best read. Oh no, this wants to sit right down. That's okay. That is okay. So alright. These metal pieces are getting in the way. Like I said, the metal likes to get in the way every now and then. See, I'm trying to get it to sit where it will need to be. Like exactly where it wants to be. This is where the other person would come in. That was on my job site. Okay, so we're good. Ish. We have room. Okay, so now I want to cut around this. Outlet here. So I'm marking my outlet line. There's one piece I gotta save. Let's see. This is why this is awesome, because it's actually. Oh, I gotta get a sweatband, man. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, please. It'll really help the channel. Big time. It'll help the channel big time. Holy moly, holy moly, Holy moly. I'll leave that there. Okay. Cut this. Let's get it done. I'm going to loosen this. This is a chop saw. See, it goes up and down. I have an extra fountain that I hardlined into the system. So I pigtailed or sistered my other fountain's power wire right into the bezel. So if I click this on with the OEM switch, it turns on the fountain, right? And I ran the line goes in through the bezel and in here, and it goes on top of the blade, cooling the blade one more time because there's already more cooler on the front and a pre-soak. And then it also soaks, gravity will feed it down right where the blade hits the tile. So I have a pre-soak line that was OEM, didn't do enough. There was clouds of dust everywhere. And then I also have my other one that goes straight down onto that blade, cools it again, cleans it and cools it again. And then obviously all the water falls on the tile and stops the cloud of dust. And it helps clean all the rocks out of your cut. So I'm going to do a drop cut down and try to save this one piece that I need for the other side without cutting the other tiles. We'll see how I can do it. Where I'm going to cut it a little long. Okay. That's just a hair long. And I did it like that so that it'll definitely grab. But I still just need to cut it on my line, so I'll do that. Yeah. All right, so that will sit in there. Beautiful. I've saved that. Now I can finish this little L cut. Let's get it done. Okay, this one will be a little difficult because I Don't think I can cut into this. Let's put it on spot here. They have a little hole in the top of this, and that keeps the blade cool and it gets all the cuts out of the way. I do need some more water though. My fountains are running dry. I gotta fill them up. And my pan could probably, I got a bucket underneath for the plug, but I'm almost done with this system. So once I'm done with all of it, I'll just fill the fountains and then I'll do the backsplashes in the bathrooms. 2 bathrooms to backsplash. Lovely. Okay, very close. Flip it over. Kiss the tops. Should be done. All right. Looking good. Yeah, so I take all my cutoffs and I just set them to the side. They're dry, they're clean. I don't have to chase them in that nasty mess. Some guys will just throw them in there. That's fine. Sometimes you gotta do it. I'm in a nice setup. This is my own home. I'm making sure that, you know, I just got plenty of room, I should say. I'm fine. Here we go. Okay. That's gonna work. So now that I have this tile set to what that's gonna be when it, the actual of where I want it, I have it level and screwed in. Remember to like and subscribe, please. So I'm going to take this outlet. Remember, there's no electricity going to it. Okay. I'll take it off and I'll tile under it. Then when my tile is all done and set, I'll screw this back on. And I'll use my torpedo level to make sure it's nice and level. Put those screws with that, put the driller over there. Now, I know that I'm good. I know that everything is ready for this to be set. I also have this little guy that I have to butter as well. So, So less is more. But remember, I had to float this out almost 5/8 of an inch. From this stud right here on the right side of the electrical to the corner, this is an old house, older wall. It's like 60 years old. So the foundation in the back kind of dropped. So it's been pulling on these walls, and the wall just kind of goes like that for a 1/2 inch. Dives inside of itself. That happens with a sag. You know what I mean? Okay, remember, don't drink Red Bull. It's bad for you. This is what I'll do. The best dad ever, I'll just hide it in there. Best dad ever. Okay. So I did about almost half of the float last night to get a strong base behind. And I floated it out again this morning, another probably, about a third. But I gotta make sure there's plenty of tile adhesive on this. The only thing about that is you're gonna deal with a mess. So if I get this float right, I should be okay without too much of a mess. But we'll see. That's a lot of float right there. We don't want that activating in the bucket. Keep them walls nice and moist. Because if you don't, you'll end up having gross stuff inside your tile. And then right when you don't want it to happen the most, you'll have some booger stuck behind your tile, and you go to push it in and it'll have a bump and you can't get it out unless you take the tile off. And who wants gross stuff in their adhesive anyway? So I always make sure the walls are wet. If they're wet, they won't dry out and chunk up. You don't want to make it a lake. I cover it with water if I set it, leave it. And then when I open it up, I just dump the water out, mix it really good, and it's right back to life. I do that with mud and tile adhesive. Because if you put a good inch of water or 1/2 inch of water over the top of the tile adhesive, then moisture can't crumb it down. It'll just stay nice and wet like it wants. It's a water-based product. All right, here we go. How's everybody doing today? You guys doing all right? What a silly. Why did I do that? Okay. All right, so that's the bottom side. Cool. Remember, I got a tarp underneath for a moisture barrier underneath my drop cloth. So I'm covered with moisture anyway. Full insured. We're fully insured. Matter of fact, my company's fully insured as well. Robbins Enterprises. Squanto. How's it going, everybody? You guys liking? You subscribing? We talking? What we talking about here? How's it going? Wow, we got a big family here. Stocks Family Farm. What do you think of concrete countertops? I've actually saw that, and I will say I considered every single type of counter. I saw some really cool concrete countertops being made though. Those are really neat. Make sure you subscribe and like Stocks Family Farm. Good time, day, sir. Good day, sir. Cabinets. Yep. Yeah, I built them. I built all the cabinets, everything. This place was empty. It was nothing. I built everything. Yeah, I always watch the blade. Exactly. Are those real tiles? Yes, it's real stone and U-channel with metal, and the top is gold. Well, whatever. It's gold plated. Yeah, I always watch the blade. Are those tiles? Said hi. What's up, Ed? How you doing? I remember you from yesterday. You must, yeah, that's right. You said you run tile, I believe. You run a tiling company. Pretty sure, if I remember correctly. Or you've done tile or something like that. Thank you. Naira, is it Naira? Abu Bakari, yes. Remember, like and subscribe, everybody. Just saying hello, dropped you a like. Thank you, lady. What up, blood? Bug and crack. My bad, brownie. It pokes out every now and then. I ain't on stream, but too busy to acknowledge folks watching. Soul Reaper. So basically, the only way for you guys to be able to see the whole picture is for me to do this. You know what I'm saying? So like I have to go and do the job and then come and see you guys. If you don't see the whole picture, then people don't really understand what I'm doing, and I've had to explain myself for weeks. So I've had to kind of hold back. I know, I continue to drink it. I'm sure your kids love smelling the cig since you smoke in the house. I do not smoke in my house. I'm smoking on the job, and I'm going to spray the whole place after. This is a build. This is a project. And it's my own home, so I'm taking the liberty of choosing to smoke when I want to smoke. It's my own friggin' house. However, no one lives in here right now. This isn't where we live. I live over there, 2 apartments away. Okay? So just chill out, all right? Hello, how do women wipe themselves when they have long fingernails? I've always wondered the same. I seen a thing one time where they said they stick it right up in there and scoop it out. Cardi B, she said that one time. I'm a carpenter, and I just bought a house, my first house, and it happens to be a profitable multi-unit. There was a big empty space in here, so I put this, I put a 2-bedroom apartment inside. I don't understand that. Just make sure you guys like and subscribe, please. It'll really help the channel. I'm working super hard, you know. I got tired of getting ripped off by clients, so I said, you know what? I've put over $5 million of equity and appreciation into the town that I was from, area. And I said, you know what? I'm going to put appreciation and equity in my own name from now on. So I bought this house. This was a big empty room. All the walls were different colors. There was no walls at all anywhere. There was a little sprout wall right over there. It was like 3 or 4 feet long. And that was it. This back wall was covering all the water tanks and bladder, but it was way deeper in. It was super tight. I pulled it away so I could put shelves in there. I built everything you see. This right here is new. I put all the PEX in. I helped put all the PVC in. My buddy came, my high school best friend from high school, came and hooked me up with me and him did all the PVC in one day. I had to do the floors. I had to build all the walls, the doors, the trim, the cabinetry. I built it all. It's been 8.5 months straight that I've been working on this. I appreciate you guys. I just want to let you know, if you guys help me subscribe and, subscribe to my channel, I'll be able to give you much better content. And it's not just here. This is the job that I'm on now. I have more tile so this is my own home, but I have a bunch of work to do for my company, Robbins Construction. You see? That's my company, right? So I'm ready to get the hell out of here. I got to paint this place and move on. So I'm just so happy that I can finish off this tile today, hopefully get the bathrooms done. I have 2 bathrooms to do. I got a backsplash. See, this is my vanity. It's one piece. The sink is the countertop. The knobs are all in there, but, I put AZEK Cove molding. All of this is AZEK. All that's AZEK. All this is AZEK. I built some nice fancy corner shelves in there. Everything's 45'd. That was laser leveled off to be nice and straight. All of this was done with a laser level. The floor, the shower, everything I build, I use the laser level. Even that was put in with a laser level. Everything. That way, everything is perfect. On a new build, you can do it. So this is the tile that will be here, but I have a mirror coming in. So I got to go get that mirror. It's right over there at the end of that wall. And I'll figure out how high that mirror goes, and then I'll put the backsplash, accordingly. I don't understand. Lacking for what? What would I be caught lacking in? I guess that's really the question. I guess, I don't know. So right here, from this stud to this corner, the wall bows in about a 1/2 inch deep there to 0 here. So I had to float all this out. I already floated the trim board out with a piece of wood. There's a piece of wood behind that, holding that nice and straight so that my trim didn't warp, right? You want everything nice and square, true plumbing level. So I already floated it last night. You can see the dark gray. That's dried. This right here is extra from this morning to get it where I want it. I want it out to this height, right? So now we're going to install this that I've already pre-cut. If you guys haven't watched, check me out. That's the outlet right there. I made sure that the outlet was screwed in exactly where it was supposed to be, nice and level, before I took it off, right? So now I got to get this behind my outlet and get it somewhat sat. So, but the thing is, I have to make sure that this tile isn't too far out or too far in, because I didn't float the wall and let it dry. Half of that shoot, I gotta take all these out. These are all dried from yesterday. It's just gonna be in my way. Because I have to run the level across this to make sure that that doesn't go too far out or too far in. I want it just perfectly on grade on the same plane as this wall. It's weird that that one wall bows in that much. So this used to be a restaurant, and this was like a divider wall of the kitchen. So this was like supposedly over there was the kitchen or whatever. There was supposedly a wall here. There's a couple doors. And that may have been a doorway, and it just sits in too far. So when I bought the place, this was just a big empty room. It was 35 or 40 by like 25, right? And I figured out a way to make a 2-bedroom apartment, basically a luxury apartment at that. Okay, so, see, I wish YouTube would let you go horizontal, but it doesn't. As soon as you go horizontal, it shuts you down. You guys would be able to see so much more. That's why I have you way up here. I'm sorry, Soul Reaper. You know, me and you are friends and all, but if I put you way back, you know, so that you can see everything, the only thing is I remember yesterday saying, I wish that I had a robot that would tell me and voice out everything that's being said on the chat. That way I can speak back to you guys. Eden learned the difference between your and your before you try to be funny. I don't understand what any of that meant. You're violent, so you should probably just like and subscribe and be a good person. Love your family, love yourself, love your God, love your family, and be a good person. Is that real, Tiles? Yes, it is. They are as real as the day brings light. Okay, here we go. Don't drink Red Bull. I'm hiding it. I can't even listen to a radio on YouTube live. They'll literally ban my video for no one to see. It's crazy. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, please. Okay, so you see the gap? See that gap? That means that's floated out too far. So I may need to scoop some out of there. So you see, if I'm using this 6-foot level and pushing in like that, all I'm gonna do is just straighten this out. If I use a shorter one, like a small level, I have the ability to push that in again. But if I'm using this and that stud, then it'll be square to these two studs, which is what I want. Do you guys want me to put you back up? What's up, Chevy 5-Speed? How you doing? I'm doing good. Soul Reaper, are you on here? We got all the boys in town. Where's Backyard at? Where's MAGA 2025? What's up, boys? So I'm floating this out. That went in a 1/2 inch, you remember from the other day. So I'm using this level to get a good grade on it. Figure out, I need to get it nice and straight. If I push in on it too far without having, you know, the 6-foot advantage, right? It's not gonna float right. It'll end up acting as a hinge. All right, thank you, good time. Good man. Yeah, it really, I always like every time I'm talking to you, I want to interact because it's cool. I like talking to everybody. But I thought maybe everybody would want to see like the real project, you know what I mean? But it's cool. Wow, look at that float. That's a hell of a float out, ain't it? Huh. I'll have to float out the bullnose too to get it looking right. Excuse me. Wow. All right, so now I'm just gonna go through and just make sure that my tile is gapped out correctly. Just pulling to the left, not pushing in at all. Okay. I like you a lot. Okay, we gotta get this wet, it's starting to dry up on us. We do not want it to dry up on us. Okay, and you can see I was very, very, very careful. I have 3 daughters, yeah. And maybe more, you never know. So, why are you asking about my daughters? That's kind of weird. Is it because you remember me hanging out with the fam? Sometimes I'll, like when we're road tripping, it's fun to talk to you guys while we're road tripping. So right now I'm just kind of massaging, making sure they're all nice and flush, you know, so that when you run your hand down it, it's not gonna cut you or it's gonna feel, you know, the way it should feel. Oopsies. Dumbass. I forgot to give myself a hole there. I was so boned up, happy as hell to get it all done. All right, I'm gonna move this out of the way. Remember, these wires are not live. None of them are. So I'm just gonna cut this. We need to go get a drill. Oh, what's up, MX Draw? You are new. Thank you for subscribing. Hello from Mars. It looks even cleaner than yesterday. Hell yeah, we're trying, bro. I am trying I'm trying hard, dude. I got this old beat up drill bit. It's got a bunch of power grab on it, all dried up. Let's see if this will go in. It's one of those Milwaukee kits, like $30 kits. Whoops. I weren't even close. Son of a bitch. is a hole. I gotta be careful not to lose that float, because I got it floating pretty damn tight here. Remember, this is not live. I cannot be electrocuted. Everything is shut down. I should have tape on this though, so it ain't scratching up my tile. But just a little painter's tape would work. I just won't scuff as much, I guess. Come on, get out of the way. See, pulling that, I lost my set. Okay. So I'm just going to get this mixed up. All right. I got to push. This is starting to be a fucking mess. But you just got to keep your composure, do the job, and get her done. Never give up, ever. So now you see I got plenty of float there. I'm just gonna take this level. Look at that. Now I ought to put something behind there. For real. Like really, I should. What about a shim? So I had to put 3 shims in on this side here. So over here, to hold this tile that way, I put 3 shims in against it. This, I ought to take one. Nice. So it gets even bigger up here. That's the problem. Okay. Okay. Set. And that will just give it a little bit of structure that it needs. Okay. Now, I'll take all this extra. Come on, brother. Just get down in there. Get down on it. Get down on it. You know you want to get down on it. Put your back against the wall. So, right there. Where in the hell did that go, Squanto? Oh boy. I knew I'd lose that piece if I set it down. I have a small triangle down here. This bag shims fell. Okay. Lid that. Set it right down, just like right here. Right there it is. Remember to like and subscribe, guys. Thank you for your professional advice. Jim, you want to see something cool? Jim, talk to me. Did you hit that subscribe button? What's up, GT Hustler? Jim, hit me up. Check this out. You want to see something cool? You might like this. Hit that subscribe button, brother. Watch this. Factory in the bezel. Custom. Straight to the blade. This is a pre-soak and a pre-cooler. This is the end cooler. Also gravity to stop the dust and clean all the excess out. Thank you, Jim. I saw that they just bored a hole here. That was nothing. I saw that there was channel. Sorry. So there's channel just like this. See that channel? So I cut into this channel to give this spout. This is a 90-degree spout. Okay? It's a T, so it drops straight down, right? So we'll close that off. I saw that they drilled in the hose like that, so I did the same over here. See how they did the flex hose? I fed it right through just like that, took this bezel off. I fed the extra hose, the extra fountain pump right into their system, right? Going straight in. This is the OEM plug to plug your fountain in. And this is the power to the wall. It's got a really nice amperage and fuse system. So I took this fountain pump and I wired it hot right into the terminal. So anytime you pull this switch, you got two pumps going as long as you plug in the OEM pump. You know what I'm saying? So I used to do it where I had to plug it into the wall or turn on the gang box, hit the on and off switch. And then I got tired of it one day and I sat down and I got some cable ties and, and I did it right. I mean, I did it real nice. So that's badass. It cuts stone, it cuts glass. I mean, literally twice as good. And there's no dusty mess. So I can bring this in someone's kitchen and I keep my mask up, I keep this on because that would all be on the wall. That would all be on the floor. So I keep that up, but it's wet. You know what I'm saying? It's not dust. There is no dust in here when I cut. Thank you, Aspen Adventure. Yes. Thank you so much. Right. I mean, and check these out. Not one nail in any. It's all glue and clamp. This is, I actually, what's the weird thing? I designed these myself. Okay? And the doors, designed them myself, and then realized later when I was gluing and clamping that they were actually, this is a shaker style. This is literally exactly what the shakers do. And I did it all with a chop saw and a table saw. I did not use one router bit at all. Every bit of these was all done with the table saw and chop saw. So I got a tongue with a rabbet. This is rabbeted in as well, the inside rail, you see. That's rabbeted. This one's also rabbeted. I also had to rabbet the plywood. So this is tucked in and then sucked in. So the plywood has a rabbet on it. And all I did was vise. I pre-glue. I paint the glue on with a brush. And I built I built everything here. It's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Looks great. So I just got to paint inside. That's I got to plumb this out. I'm just waiting to plumb because I have to paint inside there. I don't want to work around all that plumbing. Thank you, Jim. This has taken me, just me, literally, one man. This is my company right here. I live in I come from Rockland area, mid-coast Maine, about halfway up the coast of Maine. That's the area that I was born and raised. But I'm living down east, so I'm about 3/4 up coast of Maine now. About an hour and a half, 2 hours from the Canadian border, but this was a big empty room. It's 23 by like 35, and I built a bedroom with a closet, another bedroom with a closet. I opened this was already here. Nothing was trimmed out. None of this was trimmed. They had like brown corner molding. This wall was yellow, that wall was brown. I mean, it was just all, and it took me literally a month to get all the scars. There were so many different rolling scars and holidays and drips and screws or nails popping. So the ring shank nails just popped, and I had to bash the nails in with a nail pin, you know what I'm saying, a nail punch, and then screw around it. And all of this has Roxel, so it's sound bat, Roxel, and all of the sheetrock is mold guard. Because you see how high the road is? The road is higher than the house. So my drainage has to go wane that way and wane that way. Some of it doesn't, especially what comes off the house. So I gotta be really careful about moisture here. I'm gonna have to go around with my 14-inch wet saw and cut a French ditch with some perforated pipe to seal off that, make sure nothing goes into the foundation. It's all work. I put all the windows in. And I said, you know what? That nice big wide wall, 12-inch wall, let's do a drywall return. You know what I mean? Let's make it nice. It'll act as a shelf. You can go right up, put your elbows right there and just kind of hang out and drink your coffee in the morning. I had to take the straps off of this because this was all hollow and the sheetrock wasn't in, and there's a register going straight up and it's kind of broken, and when the heat turns on, it blows out of this crack where it's hooked up to this duct. And I realized that it was actually heating the house really well. So instead of keeping this shut, I vented it off because it really does help keep this side of the room warm. You know, put a recessed light in. This is the drywall. The dryer exit. That right there, just that trimming, all that trim took a day. Half a day, you know, because it's like all different thicknesses and it's all beveled edges and mitered, and just the floor took me a week, just grinding down the floor with a 14-inch wet saw. This huge saw weighs about as much as this water bucket. This was a big off ramp, so it was all concrete slab. I had dips, valleys, ridges everywhere, and there's a big crack going across the whole foundation. And it drops 4 inches down every 10 foot. Took 5 bags from like right here over to this wall, deep in, to fill 5 bags of self-leveler to get it up to this height. It was a lot of work. Hey, Mom. Sandra Acorn, that's my mom. Thanks for watching. All right, you guys want to stay close. Let's go check this out. Where was I anyway? I get talking, man, and I get excited about all this, you know? Oh, I was gonna put that in. Well, I can't put that in right now because I put too many. I think I put one too many shims in. Let's see. Let's see. I'll get it. We just got to make sure. Take my float. That shim fell. That shim fell on me. Okay. What a mess. Okay. Okay, let's get my level, my drill. Let's get this set back in there. Idiot. I don't want to press too hard here. I'm just setting the screw where it needs to be. Okay. So get my level. Get the level over here. Okay. View. Love the torpedo level. It's not a plumber's level. I forgot. I keep forgetting to buy a plumber's level. But it's good for electricity. Keep your switches tight, you know. And outlets. Okay. Before this gets all completely smoked, I am going to let this sit for a second because I still am not done installing tiles. I just got to get it where I need it, and then I can set the rest. I'm just going to install this thing real quick. Right quick like. I gotta cut it some more. Okay. Sorry, I gotta clean this. I'd usually have, you know, someone cleaning my stuff for me, but I gotta stay on it. If you don't stay on it, your work just goes to crap. I got 3 other buckets with water. I ought to fill those. Let's fill. See, this is a wicked cool contraption. This is a Hydrotech 50 foot. It's badass. Comes with the valve too. So I'll just set that in there for a minute. Remember, I got tarps on my floor as well. Love you, Ma. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Okay. Well, I knew it would happen. Son of a gun. Overflow. Great. I got a tarp down, so it don't matter. Well, got plenty of water. Plenty of water. And I have plenty of fans. Get it? Fans? Subscribers? That's funny. That was a pun, weren't it? Is that what they call that? No pun intended. There. That ought to dry them off, eh? Three different fans. That'll be dry. Okay. Talk to you later, Jim. Hey, if you can, share this to your friends. I work every single day, and I'm always doing something fun. For everything from the roof ridge to the foundation, I play around with it. Okay. So I have to set this without pushing it in any further than I already have. Got a little ahead of myself. So this is what I'm looking for right here. You see that gap? Flawless. Okay? That's what I'm looking for. All of this prep is for a reason. Remember to like and subscribe, everybody. Thank you very much. Who's there? Mom, you should come over. We need to do an emergency dinner, Mom. We need to do an emergency dinner. I don't know if you're still here. Comment if you're still here, Mom, please. The girls have been getting after each other, and it's making it hard to do other things around the house. So I think we ought to do an emergency happy. Remember, everybody, I can't push in on this because this is a hollow, floated out wall. So I got to be so careful with every single movement I do. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's better to clean this out while it's wet, because it will be yucky if you leave it. It takes forever. And if you do it while it's dry, you're risking to unassemble the tile that you just laid. So, because you're cutting the mesh, and you can take it out of its suction setting, and it's just not good. So, and it's way quicker. Look how quick this is. I just go in and it does exactly what I want. But with a knife, when it's dry, it takes forever. It takes forever. This is a preliminary cleaning. Now I gotta go over here.
absolutely perfect right there. So I'm just cleaning out my grout lines. It's a big problem right there. You want to settle and solve. Clean those grout lines. Because when you go in with the grout, you want it to stick in there good. You know, it's really important. Yeah, and you can scratch the heck out of your tile if you leave it to dry and then go in after it's dried up. Because you got to literally dig it out. But this way, go in with your shim. Your shim gets it all at the same height and picks out the grout, the tile adhesive in seconds, effortlessly. See, so this ensures that your lines are where you want them. If you feel a little resistance, you'll go back and put a shim there, right? You're making sure that it's shimmed out correctly. I gotta wash this one more time here. I'm gonna save this until I finish that because I have a couple more buckets and a hose when I want it. But I'm doing glass next. So it's gonna be nice and clean water. Well, no, but anyway, what the fuck I'm talking about. Sorry. Remember to like and subscribe, because it will help the channel, and it's free for you to subscribe. And you guys can watch me on all my builds. Sometimes I'll have a crew, sometimes I won't. Right now, this is my own home, so I'm just working at my own pace, doing my own house. I'm going fast, but it seems like it's never fast enough. Okay. Remember, there'll be bullnose. So I got black granite going for bullnose border. My two verticals and my horizontal. So now I need to get a piece and put her in there to finish it off. And hopefully I should have what I need here. Between this between that or this. I know I got what I need anyway. Hey, Mom, I'll give you a call. Guys, I'm going to end this chat real quick, this live. I appreciate everybody, for real. We're working hard, you know, every day. This is just a sweat rag because I sweat like a pig. So, I got to shave too. But anyway, this keeps the sweat out of my eyeballs. That sweat goes in and stings, but I'll see you guys later. I'm going to call my mom real quick, and I'll start a new chat in just a few minutes. So hang in there. I'll see you in a second. Make sure you like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching. We're gonna go finish these couple tiles here in a second. Just that little edge in there. Okay? I got the ends right there. So then we'll put a border on here. And then we'll put backsplash here. And this is what we're using. Really shiny, nice. Thanks again. Hit that like button, please. I'm gonna end the chat real quick. I'll see you in a few minutes. I appreciate